Hello, this is Songs and Hope channel, and with me today is engineer David Adejuwon, and he will be taking us through his journey before and in America. I want you to come along because I believe there is one or two things you can learn in this new year, and I pray God bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So please, sir, can we meet you?
My name is Adejuwon, and my middle name is David. And I always like to go with my middle name David because the environment we have, many people don't know how to call Olusheyi or Oluwaseyi correctly. Therefore, call me simply David. Yeah, I'm a Christian, I'm married, and I have two beautiful daughters, and we are currently in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah. That's little things about me for them.
Oh, that's great. And really, yes, he's happily and proudly married with two pretty and gorgeous angels. Thank you so much for honoring this invitation to interview on our channel. And today, basically, he'll be talking on, he'll be taking us through his journey, his job, schooling here in America first, and then his journey into job after school and all of that. Can you please tell us how coming to America was for you? Like, what inspired you to come to America? You wanted to, come further your studies, or is it for opportunities?
Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate the question, and I want to start by really appreciating the opportunity because I see it like an honor. And now, in response to the question, what really inspired me to come to the United States? I really want to just give quick background of when I was in Nigeria. I finished from Obafemi Awolowo University, and after that I started working from Huawei Technologies. I worked with them for like 2 years, and I served with them, and they retained me. And after that was in Lagos, and they moved me down to Abuja. And from Abuja, I think it was about the time I wanted to get married. I was trying to come back to Lagos. There was many promises from my group then where I was working with, but the delay was just a little bit that they still need people in Abuja to be working in Abuja. But I need to come down to Lagos. Therefore, I got another opportunity from ZT Corporations, doing exactly the same thing I'm doing. That I was doing at that point in time. Therefore, I took it and I came to Lagos. And the journey was nice. I was enjoying what I was doing. But around that time, I began to look into the future, where I really want to be in the next 4 or 5 years. That was a question I was asking myself. At that point in time, I only have my first daughter. And I was thinking, by the time this girl will be like 5 years and she will start going to school, by the time maybe I will have 1 or 2 more, will my income still be able to supply all whatsoever they want and the type of life that I really want them to live?
Awesome.
And along that line, there are so many thoughts that was coming to my mind. I was thinking maybe getting a new job that would pay me far more than what I had at that point in time, or explore another opportunity. And one of those options is coming to the United States.
Okay.
And evaluating it, I was able to pinpoint that it's better I come to the United States. Though I have a couple of friends that were here before me, and they also are giving me the guidance. And I think that's, if I want to mention names, I will talk about my friend, Ajibola Olowogemo. We normally call him Olo. We previously had those discussions when we were in school. He came from humble background, likewise I came from humble background. But we were not thinking of United States. We were thinking of environment that they will not pay tuition. Therefore, if you ask me, I will tell you, we were thinking of Norway, we were thinking of Sweden, we were thinking of Singapore. So have our grad school, because we know that we really want to pursue something greater, advanced degree, to be able to get to where we really want to be. At that point in time, I was looking at those opportunities, but as God will have it, He came to the United States before me. I was working in Nigeria. He came here immediately after his service. And he always tell me, oh, don't forget the plan that you have. Don't forget the dream you have. And all those things comes together when I begin to think about what will I do in the next 5 years. And I can tell you, it's not like easy decisions.
Okay.
Because I will not do anything if God does not give me the direction.
Sure.
I begin to pray about it. I begin to ask questions. And when I was coming, it was not like a smooth decision for me. And I need to say this, that along that time that I was planning to come here was the time I have another opportunity with Rejections Nigeria.
Okay.
I just finished an interview with them. And they want to pay me like double of my salary at that point in time. That seems closer to the plan that I have, that it's better I increase the level of income that is coming in if I want to sustain the type of lifestyle I wanted.
Sure.
But I keep on praying about it too. God, if it is your will for me to come to the United States,
Okay.
let this job be at hold when my visa will go through. Therefore, at that point in time, I went for the visa interview when I've done the medicals in Rejections Nigeria. But they were still talking about the offer at that point in time. The offer has not been finalized. But they called me for some tests and all the rest. I went there. And something happened along the line. I didn't get the offer before I went for interview. My visa was granted. I also paid for the tickets. And I was still waiting. I still had this in mind that if Rejections Nigeria went through, I will forgo United States and go there. But as God will have it, it was my visa that went through, and I decided to come for my master's in the United States.
That's great.
That's just the story around it.
That's great. So basically, it was family, planning for family that influenced your decision at that point. Like you were looking into the future of your kids, of your family, and then that influenced you to make it bigger. You want something bigger at that point.
I would say yes, and coupled with many other things.
Okay.
I would say yes, because I grew up with an humble background, and I always know what I wanted. But oftentimes, the way I will get there, I don't know. But I believe I know God that understands where I really want to be. And from the infants, I've exposed to prayer, so pray about it. When it's not clear to you, pray about it. Tell God where you want to be. And looking at the career growth, what I wanted, I was not seeing it in that job that I was doing at that point in time. And coupled with the type of family I want, where I want my kids to grow up, I don't see my income that was comfortable at that time that will be able to cater for it in the next 5 years.
That's good. And so that means as a Christian or as a young dreamer, though you came from a humble background, you don't let your background put your back to the ground. You still dream.
Sure.
You dream, you make plans, and then you want to become somebody, you have plans, and that is really, really great. And I admire that about you. God has helped you.
Thank you
and you're
so
going
much.
to see a lot in his story.
Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
you'll be
Thank
blessed.
you so much.
Yeah, so let's get to the point. I know you mentioned something about being a child of God. That is really important, because you see, he keeps referring to that God. That means there's a relationship he has with God, and I would like you to please say a little about that. How did you meet God? I mean, how did you come into relationship with God, become a child of God, and all of that? Just a brief.
Okay, thank you so much. I will start by saying I grew up in a Christian environment.
Okay.
Now my parents, they're all Christian. But there will be a point in time that you yourself need to make a decision. It's not everybody that grew up, maybe even serving in church, that they are still follower of Christ till today.
Sure.
It comes to a time before I think that's when I was after my secondary school. Even during my secondary school, I'm part of the fellowship, but it was not like I was totally putting myself in for it. But after my secondary school, I met God.
Hallelujah.
And I make a decision at that point in time that but the rest of my life I will follow God. And since that time, it has been the decision that is propelling all my decisions. I remember I went to Federal Polytechnic there. I was one of the executive in a Christian fellowship. I went to Obafemi Awolowo University. I was an executive in a Christian fellowship. And if I was to mention the name, Tax Fund, the Apostolic Church Student Fellowship of Nigeria. Therefore, I was an executive in both. And not only that, when I was in Ife, I was not limited to my own fellowship alone. I also was functioning at the level of UJCM. That's a joint university Christian missions. Therefore, that gave me an exposure to the dealings of God. That when I was making an executive, it's not something I desire. I don't want to do because I was thinking I'm here to study. But by that time, I know when you serve God, you always pay you back in returns. And I can tell you, during my university days, when I came in, I decided to be a first class student. But after first 2 semesters, remember I went to Ife and I studied engineering. That the code, every way you people will know what I mean with that.
Of course.
After first 2 semesters, I knew that I cannot make first class in Ife.
I know,
but
I understand
I put in my best.
I can relate, yeah.
I put in my best that no matter what, here we are, I will still win the game. I don't want to play draw. I don't want to have 2-2. Therefore, I still won the game with 2-1.
Wow,
and great. I look at it that it's not like maybe I put more time like every other person. I may be in the drama rehearsal, I may be in a executive meeting, taking the whole time, but I can see God fighting the battle for me. And then I have the understanding on the dealings of God. It's not like, I don't want to carry myself as a pastor. I don't want to carry myself as somebody that is holier than any other person. I want to be real with everybody. But I know that if I ask God, He's able to do more than what I ask, what I imagine, what can ever come to my mind. I have those understandings.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. And I can say you have a way of staying motivated even when in school. That is a topic I'm interested in because we happen to go to the same school. Yeah, of course, he was my senior. So we happened to go to the same school and I knew how tough it can be, a federal university, a popular one at that, and in engineering and all of that. You're combining with serving God, school fellowship functions and all of that. It can be tough. And this is something that I discuss with my husband even from time to time, like when we look back into university days. So how were you able, because he said he was still able to finish with a 2-1, and thank God for that. But can you give a little word of advice to people who find themselves in your shoe now? They are students, they want to serve God, and truly I've seen people that they feel they can't do the two together. I have people like that. Even I think I had a colleague too. I have people that they just don't see the two marrying each other. It's either I'm in school and I'm in for it fully, no distractions, no school fellowship, leadership or functions, and it's either I face that or I face school fellowship. So some people have that struggle of balancing. I know it's not something that comes easy.
I quite agree.
Yes. So how were you able to still with your, because from what he said, he stayed motivated that even if I don't finish the first class, I'm going to finish with the 2-1. How were you able to stay motivated in spite of all so much activities around you, task fund, UJSM and all of that? Yeah.
Thank you so much. I would like to say this, that life does not give you what you desire. It only give you what you demand from it.
Interesting.
The point about life is, anywhere you go, there will always be distractions.
Okay.
Now, in this case, you can call it positive distractions, you can call it negative distractions. The first thing is to understand the purpose per time. At this point in time, what am I supposed to do? What am I doing? You are in school to study, and that's the primary objective. I want people to get it clear.
Wow.
I'm a Christian. I serve God. But when you are in university, Ecclesiastes 3 says there is time for everything. You are in school to study. That's a primary assignment. You need to give yourself to it.
True.
Now, either you are Christian, you go to church, you go to party, you go to every other thing, something will take your time. You can't study 24 hours. Now, for me, I choose to neglect some things that cannot add values to me. I don't go to party.
And pour that time into church.
And pour that time to church. That will always be a distraction. Some people may give that time to sports, and they know this sport can harm me maybe an income. We see many of them, they become maybe Olympia, they become something that they become a sports person. I choose that, okay, my own time, my own extra time, I will devote it for Christ. An individual knows what you really want to get out of it. I really want to build a relationship with my maker. Because schooling, working, anything we do in this life should follow the purpose of our living. You understand? There should be an interaction that you should involve around God. I have that understanding. Now, if somebody tells you, but if you give your time for fellowship, the question I want to ask them is, have you seen somebody that does not serve God at all and they still finish maybe pass or third class?
True.
And you see some people that serve God all their time and they still finish with first class.
Yeah.
I have examples. Therefore, the question now is, it depends. One thing that matters most is understand your purpose. Understand time management. I normally go for rehearsal.
Time management.
Yeah, I normally go for rehearsal. And if I know I have exam the following day, I can go for rehearsal if there is a time for rehearsal. But I know that I also must read. The Bible says, I will bless the work of your hands. It will not. It will not be. God will not be just if He bless you when you don't do anything. Now somebody is also working somewhere. But one thing is, you may not struggle like others, and that's my case. At times I don't read like others, but I get the same grade like others. Because there is a supernatural power. Either we believe it or not, there is a power that propels us. And if we call ourselves children of God, you don't need to put in effort like other people. There is a hand that can propel you for success. It can show you directions. I have enjoyed that in the time past. I have seen some classes, I think when I was in part 3 in Obafemi University. I have seen some classes, I look at the materials, it looks so voluminous. I have spent time in the fellowship or maybe rehearsals, and I call upon God. Father, this thing I must read, but I don't have the time to read all. I need directions. It has happened in the Bible. It can happen in our lifetime. Daniel didn't know what the king dreamt about, but God revealed. That God, he said, is the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And he can also give you direction as a student. It depends about your relationship with him. That's what I will say about that. Everybody always have distractions in school. No student can tell me that the whole 24 hours I use is to read. They also give time for other things. Some to sport, some to party, some to chase women, some to fellowship. Therefore, I choose to go to fellowship because I see.
Except if you are really a nerd.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A lot to learn from you, and yeah, you have shared. I hope somebody is able to gain that from what he has said. God works for you when you work for Him. I mean, there is no time you put into effort that you put into God's work that goes unnoticed by God. But remember, He stressed the part of God is just to also bless the work of your hands. You have to do the deed. You have to read the reading, the work. I mean, the book. You have to read it so that God has something to bless. So you may not just have to struggle and spend so much time like others because there is God working for you. I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. So,
Amen.
Yeah. Let's come back to the United States. Okay, here we are now. You are married, you came in. I remember you came in with your wife and your little baby. No, not exactly coming in.
Exactly.
He came a few months earlier.
Yeah, I think I came in to United States August 11.
Okay.
I left Nigeria August 10,
Okay.
2015. I landed here August 11, 2015.
Yeah.
My wife and my first daughter came in July 13 or 14. The following year, 2016.
Yeah.
That's like
great.
11 months
Wow.
after my arrival.
11 months. That's great. How was that for you?
Let me tell you, I married my friend.
Okay.
I married somebody I really love. And God bless us with a daughter that I adore so well. Therefore, leaving them behind, that 11 months was like 11 years to me. I miss every bit of it. My wife is, let me call it, a very good cook. And she cooks very good food. And coming here, me and my friend, he is also married, but his own wife also was in Nigeria at that point in time. Therefore, two of us were like married bachelor.
Yeah.
We are trying. At times we do pando, I will do egusi soup, but it will not be like what my wife normally cook for me.
You cannot compare.
You understand? There are so many things. There's a lot of challenges at that point in time. But thank God for where we are.
And yes, I can relate. I can also confirm, because his wife is my friend actually. I can confirm that yes, she's a great cook. Yeah. So yeah, that's great. So coming here with the struggle. Let's talk about the struggles. You came here, you studied. Yeah, I know that your perspective, if I'm not wrong, is that schooling here is better than in Nigeria.
I will say yes.
Okay.
I will say yes, and I want to give a justification to that. I remembered I met Professor Koinde, one of respected professor in Ife, electrical engineering. He came to Prairie A&M University when he was in United States, and I was able to meet him one-on-one. I was asking him a question, because when we came into United States, we faced a lot of challenges, and we were thinking that are we really prepared for all these challenges? And one of it is programming. In United States, programming is something that is expected for any engineering students to be so proficient in. And coming from OAU, I think I went through Fortran as a class.
Fortran.
And I know a couple of my friends that were doing C at that point in time. I had little bites of my own practice with them, but it's not like school level, like individual. But at that point in time when I came in, I see that it's an in thing. I need to know these things for me to really excel. And sincerely, I struggle with it. And not only me, a lot of people from Nigeria we struggled with it. And I keep on asking myself, if the best university in Nigeria, that I was not like a poor student. And I see some people even said that were very good. I noticed that they couldn't even cope with the same thing that was happening. Every one of us saw it like a great challenge. That was something we need to figure out. Therefore, I was asking Professor Koinde, I said, sir, do you think that we were well equipped for this journey? And I want to give kudos to a very intelligent lecturer that I had. And he said, David, which other school did you go to when you left OAU? I said, no, I didn't go to any school, but I worked twice. I worked in 2 multinational companies before coming to United States. He said, that means that everything you learned about schooling was from Ife. I said, yes, sir. He said, that means that what is your grade now in Prairie and then University that you have? I said, I was getting A's. He said, have you ever gotten B? And B is not a bad grade. I said, I never get B. I'm having A's. He said, that means that everything you need to succeed in Prairie, we gave you.
Wow.
We gave you from Obafemi Awolowo University.
That's a smart answer.
That was a very smart answer. But the truth of the matter is, he agreed with me also. He agreed with me that he knew, because he also was lecturing here, he knew that there are some things that can be done better. But he puts a challenge for all of us. He said, how many times have we given feedback to curriculum that they are using in Obafemi Awolowo University when we find ourselves here? He said we should feedback, because programming part, there's so many knowledge that we supposed to know at the level of undergrad that we were not really exposed to. And I can tell you that was like a big challenge when we started. But thank God we were able to escape through. I can tell you that I finished my master's with all A's.
Wow.
I didn't have a single B.
That's great.
And it's just by the mercy and the grace of God. But it's not like it was not easy. It was not easy. Schooling here is better, and the reason being that you are given almost all the materials that you have. The environment is more conducive. I remember I can leave my room. I can leave where I can walk in the school anytime. Name it, anytime. I have a library for masters. PhD students have an office to themselves. You can get a book for the whole semester, for the whole year, on loan. The environment looks more conducive. You have resources for research. Everything seems like far better than what we have back home. And there is no any restrictions of lecturers harassing you, talk ill of you, fear of lecturers, somebody telling you, I will fail you. They are always there to support. I will tell you that.
Wow.
Education here in United States is far better than at home.
Wow.
But we can do better also at home. And I see things changing.
Yeah.
I see things changing.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. So, from finishing your master's, you got a job.
It was
I know that one. And I'm coming to that because that is the juicy part of our story today. And you know, this is one of the things that made me want to interview him, because I felt like there are a lot of people out there that can connect with him, with what he's been through. At home, I mean, probably outside this place, sometimes you think things are so rosy, there's no struggles and all of that. But look at him, he finished with all A's with a perfect grade. And still finishing is going to tell you a little about the story. How was it for you? I mean, how was it getting a job after going through the thick and thin of engineering, programming, studying and everything, preparing yourself for a job that never came through? I mean, how was that? And then with family to fend for, to take care of. Yeah.
It was not easy. I can say it over and over again. But God knows how we normally channel our moves and the way He make provision when we're in need. I remember then I finished. Even though I was supposed to finish around May. I was hoping to get a job before finishing. Initially, I was looking for internship. What is internship? Like 3 months or 6 months experience that you can acquire from a company in the area of your specializations. And I tried that. It was not really clicking. So many factors to that. At that point in time, my department put an embargo on all the international students to go on internship. Therefore, that one have its own issue. It affected us a lot, most of the international students. It was like a policy. We couldn't do anything about it. But by the time it was lifted, I couldn't even say get one. And I tried to go on different platforms to be able to gain to use that platform to get what I need. One of it is NSB, National Society of Black Engineers. It's a good platform that is a yearly thing where black engineers gathered and the employers
like
comes
a
there,
conference.
like a conference.
Yeah.
Therefore, I went there. I couldn't even say get internship at that point in time. Therefore, I finished finally in summer. That was August 17, 2017. August 17, 2017, I finished my master's. There is what we normally call EAD.
Implemented authorization.
Authorizations document. Therefore, I got that. That will last for 1 year. That means that within the space of 1 year, I must do all I need to do to get a job in a one company. And I was counting down. I didn't get any. And remembered, I have two, at that point in time, and I have 2 daughters. No, my wife was pregnant, and I have my first daughter, and I was struggling with the 2, getting a job, feeding my family, pay rent, and a lot of bills. At that point in time, I turned to become a driver. I was driving for Amazon Flex.
Wow.
I was driving everywhere so that I would deliver, so I can pay my rent, I can do this. Along the line, I was doing interviews, and things seems like it was not working. It was like the worst situation of my life. Even say I have never experienced that kind of things when I was in Nigeria.
Can you imagine that?
My life was more meaningful far back home than what I experienced during that period. I was doing some jobs I cannot even mention here, just to meet my house need, to pay my bills. It was rough. It was seriously rough. But there is a thing that I know. There are some things I cannot do. I will not do something that God will be angry with me. And likewise, I always hope that it may be hard today, there will always be a better ending. I believe in Romans 8:28.
And we know
everything works together for good. Therefore, I always look for that word, and there is a word that is propelling me. I have a message that I was not in this country by myself. I was propelled to do it. Therefore, I know that will it bring me here to come and bring me to shame? I was far better in Nigeria than what I'm facing now. Therefore, I keep on struggling. But as God will have it, I ran there was now another Nesbit, the same platform I mentioned, the conference. I went to that conference. I was preparing for that conference. And Intel Corporation reached out to me that, can you have some interview? I have like 2 requests. And I did the interview. It was looking good as the thing was going on. And I was preparing for that conference. And they asked me, will I be in the conference so that we can do one-on-one? But lo and behold, the hiring manager told me before the conference, that they made up their minds to give me the offer. And that's when everything changed.
Wow.
Therefore, I jumped from somebody with $0 to somebody that can afford almost everything that I wanted at that point in time. Therefore, I went to the conference, and at the conference, I received my first offer letter in the United States.
Wow.
Working with multinationals, working in the environment I will have desired for a very long time, and it came to pass just like within a twinkle of an eye.
Wow.
Now, sustaining that kind of job comes with a lot of efforts. You need to display, because I was like only black, even in the whole office that I had.
Oh, the office.
In the office I am. I'm in Allentown in Pennsylvania. I was only black. I mean, I'm from, let me say, from Africa. There's some black Americans.
Yeah.
Therefore, it was like very tough. You need to show yourself. You don't want them to regret that. You need to prove yourself. Therefore, all those things come with its own challenges. And being person of color also, you need to really show yourself that you are not just to house of the numbers. You have stuff to really display. And by the help of God, it is where we are now. The story changed from 2018. I started that job 2018 May. That means that from August 2017 to May 2018, it was like a rough ride. Now from May 2018, things begins to change.
What do you mean by things begin to change?
Things begins to change for me as a person. That the struggle ends.
That you now,
the fear of unknown begins to eradicate, because after 6 months, we normally do something in the interview, we call it insight. They will tell you how you are performing. Now I received the first performance evaluations. I could see that, I'm not doing bad, I'm doing a good job. And you will see your manager say, wow, you are performing, you are doing this. Now I was able to eradicate all those fear. I was able to contribute fearlessly
and be more confident
in what you do, because you look at it I once worked with multinationals, but when you find far back home, I have so many Nigerians around me. It's our country, you understand. But now you are in a strange land, and you are like only person that is black. Therefore, but you were able to gather strengths as the time goes on, and things begins to change. Within my job, after some time, they gave me another position within the group. You need to manage all these labs. Therefore, I added that to my profile. And I will tell you that it's good to take more responsibility, because that's what will build you. Somebody once told me, don't do only things that make you comfortable. There is no growth in it. Now, when you are doing something that is not comfortable for you, that's where you will grow. And I see that every day along the line in my career with Intel.
Wow, that's great. Really, really great. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. And I believe you are able to catch the point where he explained that his self-esteem is something he had to work on over time, because he was the only person, the only black in his, or the only African in his office and all that. Yeah, but he got more confidence and a lot was let loose. He became the better version of himself.
Sure.
Even taking more responsibilities and all of that. That's really good to know. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I wanted you to talk about, I remember, yes, he has spoken about getting a job after the long struggle. Did you get that job before the
I finished my grad school August 2017. I started my new role, that's after like 10 months. It's May 2018.
2018. So
Therefore,
that's like
it's
10 months.
Yeah, it's like around 10
and his
months.
employment authorization was almost
done. It's almost done. Therefore, when I joined, immediately they started what we call extension for me, because you have the grades,
STEM extension.
Therefore, because it's STEM discipline.
Yeah.
Therefore, 1 year is almost done, just like 3 months. I could see that's God.
Wow.
It's not me
It is
anymore.
God.
Because if I have finished that 3 months without job, I have only two options. Either you go back to Nigeria, or you go back for higher study. That time I have another admission in my hand.
Yeah, exactly.
I had another admission that the worst that will happen is I will
go back to school.
Therefore, but God show up.
Yeah, thank God. God showed up for him. Number one, God is never late. That is one lesson to take from the story. God is never late. God came through for him. So it doesn't matter how long or how dark the situation looks. Always know that God is never late. He's never late. He came through for Lazarus when it was 4 days gone. And he will always come through for in your situation. Also, another thing you should remember is that he mentioned something about that STEM OPT is something you will really understand. I'm making this. I want us to talk about this one because of those who are intending to come and study here.
Okay.
There's a lot to understand when it comes to status, staying in status and everything. That was why he needed to get a job before his EAD, employment authorization document, expired within 12 months. Now, if he didn't get a job, he had the option of going back to school, and that school, he must have it even before that admission, and he must start school before that. He had that as secondary, but God came through all the same. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah. Okay,
are we in church now? Something he forgot or he didn't quite mention was that when he got a job after that 10 months where it was a struggle getting a job, he got multiple job offers. That really blew me, because knowing him, knowing how things were, because like I said, he's my husband's friend, and so sometimes I am privy to some of those things, and knowing the things that how God just came through, and then multiple offers all at the same time. Please, can you talk about that?
Yeah, sorry for not saying something about that. It just escaped my mind.
Okay.
It was God. I think what God was trying to really show me at that point in time was that when the effort of a man ends, he show forth. God will not want to share his glory with anybody. I got 3 good offers. They are just wonderful offers. They are not something that I remember a friend was telling me, now you have a good problem. That's because all those 3 offers are something you can close your eyes and pick anyone. And I was just thinking that, God, where were you all this while? That have been driving to survive, running from one post to another to feed my family.
Wow.
But I remember that God will never come too late. He will come at the right time. And when that thing happened, I can't just say anything more than just to say thank you, God, because I knew that it was not me. It's just God. It's just God.
Because you have come to the end of your own.
I said 3 months to the expiration of my EAD.
Wow.
That was 3 months to the expiration of my EAD.
And really, that is a great an headache.
It was a big one. It was.
Yeah, thank God. So I'm really, really inspired by his story. That was really what I thought of. I'm like, no, I have to bring him to this channel to share with us how God came through for him when he was looking like, oh. Thank God for that. Thank you so much for sharing, sir. So, Now, to the next chapter of his life. Because, his life has been in chapters, and it's just a testament to what God can do in the lives of his children. Honestly, God has got your back. It doesn't matter what you're going through, what is happening to you at the moment. God has great plans. He says in his word in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, for my thoughts towards you are thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So he's going to tell us what is happening with him now.
This is God. This is God. I think I started my job in Intel in 2018, as I said, as a network software engineer. And I've been doing it for a while. Along the line, I began to do program management, but focusing on the lab infrastructure, lab network infrastructures.
Okay.
And before leaving Nigeria, I was a project implementation manager for ZTE.
Okay.
And I was trying to really compare my career, where I really want to be in the next 5 years. I met my manager and I told him that I want to do program management. And he told me,
you mean in Nigeria or here?
Here.
Okay.
Here in United States, in Intel. My manager is a very good man, and he has been wonderful to me. Now I met him and I said I want to do program management, and I've done training of PMP from Nigeria, but I've not taken the exam.
Okay.
Therefore I told him this is the route I want to go, and he told me that program management is a good thing if you have a flair for it, but in our team that's not what we need. He said I would rather suggest that instead of taking that, why can't you take another programming language and spend that time on it, so you can add that to your profile and it can give you more boost in career in the next future. It's a good advice, but it's not for me at that point in time, because then I knew that this is the next chapter of my life. I don't want to do all this. I want to get to a managerial level, and this is what I want to do. And that was the first meeting I had with him. After like 6 months, I had another meeting with him, and I had that discussion again that I think this is what I want to do. And at that point in time, he saw the zeal in me that, okay, it's like this is the direction this guy wants to go. He begins to ask questions. They nominated me for, within Intel Corporation, they nominated me for, we call it talent keeper. It's for like managerial group of people that they are planning for promotions to managerial posts. I was in that program, but along the line, I didn't even ever apply to Google. Google first reached out to me. The same Google that I always wanted. And I will say maybe almost everybody wanted it. Therefore, the first thing that came to my mind is that, Google reached out to me and they were telling me about the role that they have. And I said, I have interest. And the lady was trying to really itemize the process. It was a very long process. I look at it that, will I be able to escape through
all of
this process before I can gain entry into Google? Thank God for my wife. She said, start it. You don't lose anything. You get a good job. Therefore, if you start it and it does not go through, you know you will have tried.
You've tried.
Therefore, I initiated the process. I was doing that. Microsoft also reached out to me. And I have series of interviews with Microsoft in the same space of program management. And I began to do interviews. And as God will have it, towards the end of November, I began to hear things from them. In 2021, November 2021. It was Microsoft that first came through. But let me say this, so that we learn from it. That's when I have failed some program management interviews. It's not like maybe the first time. I have done like 2 or 3 with them. The same Microsoft failed, rejected that, sorry, we choose to go with another person. I remember the second rejection I got was, it took them like 4 weeks. They told me, you are still the last man standing. What they mean is that they are still interviewing other people. But my response, my interview was still like the best. Therefore, they put me like last man standing. And after like 4 weeks, they came back to tell me that they went with the other person. It was so painful that I wanted to lose all the hope at that point in time. Microsoft, as I was saying, I want us to gain something there. it's not like everything was just going smoothly. Because as of today, I can tell you that I have 2 Microsoft offer and 1 Google offer.
Wow.
But before that story,
this is another offer. Like
this is another offer.
It's not the first 3 offers.
No, the first 3 offer was 2018.
But
I'm
now,
talking of 2021.
Currently.
Now, I have 2 Microsoft offer and 1 Google offer now as it stands. But I want us to learn something. Today is good to share the good story, but let's learn the story behind it. What's so disappointing is that you put me on wait for 4 weeks, and I did another one. Those one get back maybe after 2 weeks. Oh, sorry, we choose to go with another person. But I remember what the recruiter told me. Maybe that's what gave me the energy. He said all the feedback were not negative. I can see that you are Microsoft's material. It's only that they are getting some other best candidates. Therefore, Dave, don't be disappointed. If I have other opportunities, I will send it on your way. That's another advantage of United States. You don't need to know anybody. If you have what it takes, you can get it. And if you have the requirements, you can apply to it. And they will call you. Unlike Nigeria, that you know somebody. That's something that is like equal opportunity for everyone.
Pretty much.
Now, around November, I met with another 2 groups, one in Atlanta, Georgia, and one in Dallas.
In Microsoft.
And I finished the interview, and they finally came back that they wanted to extend the offer. And I told you I've started Google interview. It was always a long process. You start from the screening, you start from the first recruiter call, from screening stages, you go to the panel interview. After the panel interview, you go for team matching. After team matching, you go to what we call hiring committee. After hiring committee, they will now extend the offer.
Wow.
Now, I was in the process of that when the Microsoft offer was coming in. And finally, around November, I got the call that changed my life. And they said, we have made up our mind that we want to extend the offer. Give us your numbers. What they mean with that is that what is your expectation about the salary? Therefore, they give you chance to name your price. And I can tell you, our God is faithful. If it depends on Him, He will make a way. I was okay in Intel. And it's not like maybe things was not fine.
But you want to.
But I want to do something new. I didn't even say no that, there is a song. They said, I never know you will favor me this way. I see like a favor of God. Because it's like somebody putting 3 years and put it in 1 for me. Giving me 3 years of Intel and put it in 1 year of Google.
Wow.
I don't want to say more than that, but I think everybody understands. It's like giving me 3 years of my work in Intel and put it in 1 year of Google.
That's great.
And then I still have 2 Microsoft
offers.
Therefore, if I don't want to go to Google, I have 2 other that I can also pick from. But I just don't need to take only one. But that's
you can transfer the other ones.
It's on my name. I know God is able to give every one of us. It's fear.
Wow,
God is fear.
That's great.
The Bible says he's not like a man. He's not a respecter of man. Yeah. What he do for Mr. A, he can do for Mr. B.
Yeah.
If you do it for me, he can do it for you.
Yeah.
And I know we are going to celebrate soon.
Amen.
So it will not be long.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Yeah, your final words for us. What do you want our viewers to go home with? Anything, maybe lasting impression, a wrap up of this discussion today?
Yeah, it's just the summary of my life. I would say, always believe in God. Thank Him for the little, so I can do bigger ones. I remembered when I got my first offer, that far back in Nigeria. I remember how I danced, how I celebrated God. From there, He took me from there, He gave me another job that is better. And when I left Nigeria, I came to the United States. When everything was rough, I kept on saying thank Him. Because I remember, If you have done it in the time past,
Then
you can do it again. I think mistake we normally make is when we are facing trial, we always forget that it's God. If He has done you a favor before, is it now that He will change? If He's a man, He can change, but it's God, He will not change. And if He has not done it for you, celebrate the people He has done it for, because your own time will also come. He will surely come. He will surely come. And another thing is, don't sit back and expect God to do what you're supposed to do. You also need to do something. Do something. Ask for directions. God will direct you. The last thing that most of Christians normally suffer from is that we refuse to network.
Networking.
We need to network.
Okay.
You need to network.
I need to start networking more with Mr. David.
Yeah, you need to network.
So that door Google.
The point is, there's some information that is going around that you are not aware of. If you don't know it, somebody around you can know it. And that's the power of your network.
You need to expand
your network. I'm not saying you should join bad gangs.
No.
There is great people in Christianity doing greater things. Network with them.
Yeah, and that's why I'm bringing him here, so that you know that God is doing it for His children.
Network with them.
And I know that as you decide to follow Christ, do it like with all of your heart. And one key thing I can learn from his story that resonates with is the fact that you're a child of God does not immune you from challenges of life. So being a Christian doesn't mean you won't have your own share of challenges of life, but God will see you through and He will come through for you. So you have that edge. I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. So to wrap up, can you tell me a little about your family work-life balance? How do you manage being an engineer, with being married and having two wonderful kids that are really still young?
Yes. Thank you so much. I think I'm enjoying. I think that question should go to my wife. I think she will. One thing is that I know she will never complain, because by the help of God, I love my family, and I can tell you, I will not do something against God, but I will do almost everything for them. I will do almost everything to make sure that they are okay. And remember, it's part of the reason why I'm here. I was foreseeing what will my children, where are they going to be, what type of life I want them to live. That's the foundations coming to the United States. My family is doing fine. My wife is doing great. She's looking more beautiful, debiting my account. And I believe that we are enjoying ourselves.
Yeah,
she's coping with me, I'm coping with her.
That's good.
I believe that oftentimes it's more about communications between you and your wife, because you are in today's business together. I mean, that family as a whole. Let's put it in perspective. I'll be traveling by next week, and we have been making plans for the past 2 weeks. Who will take the kids from school? How are we going to receive them from the bus, and what are the plans? And my work, I always try my best not to bring my official work at home. I want to finish it at work before coming in. But as an engineer, oftentimes we have deadline. We have meetings that you need to prepare, and you have so many things that you need to do. I think the most important thing is communications. Communicating to your wife. Let her know that at this point in time, I need to focus on this, and please allow me to just quickly finish it. And I see that as the main thing. I see that as the key thing. And communication should not be one way. It should be vice versa. If I tell you, you also should be able to communicate to me fearlessly, because we should understand that both of us are in these games together, and it's just for the family. The kids, like my daughter, occasionally if I walk from home, by around 4 o'clock, I need to go to the bus stop to receive her from her school bus. And my wife is also doing her grad school, and she also will be coming back around the same time. And all of us meet at home. But I will still be walking. Therefore, the daughter will go in there, maybe for her homework and not the rest, when I'm focusing on my work to finish. And our second daughter, she's still attending preschool now. And by the time my wife comes back, she quickly go and get her back home from school. And all of us find ourselves at home. But it's not as easy as I just said it. Occasionally or situationally, there may be some things that will come up. Maybe she needs to write an exam, she needs to read more. She cannot go and meet the baby, pick any of them. I need to take care of that. It's just about communicating it. And maybe at times I need to travel, I will not be around. I can't be of help. I just need to communicate it. And when I'm communicating, what are the plans that I have for her to also support? And my job, I think they try their best also to give us work-life balance. But occasionally, as I said, job at times demand a lot that we also want to go into your own personal time, but it's not all the time.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing with us once again, and we appreciate you being on our channel. We have learned a lot of things from you.
Thank you
and
so much.
We pray that God will keep being with you, give you more and better promotions.
Amen.
We pray that His favor on your life will continue in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, click the like button, and please leave us a comment. Let us know what you have gained from this. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please leave it in the comment section and we will reach back to you via the same comment section. Thank you once again. Like this video and share. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.